Have you ever pondered how something as natural, intimate, and life-affirming as sex could actually be harming your health, silently, slowly, and without warning? For millions of men over 60, sex is more than just an act. It's a symbol of vitality, connection, and purpose. But what if certain habits you've never questioned are quietly sabotaging your strength? What if you're unknowingly losing muscle mass, energy, and mobility with each passing month? Not because you're getting older, but because you're making 5 subtle yet damaging sexual mistakes. This isn't about shame, it's about awareness, about reclaiming your power and protecting your health. And it begins with knowing what to avoid before it's too late. Let's uncover the 5 sex-related mistakes that are draining your muscles, stealing your strength, and how to stop them today. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Mistake 1. Skipping recovery after intimacy. One of the most overlooked mistakes older men make is skipping recovery after sexual activity. At first glance, it may not seem like a big deal. Sex feels good, the moment passes, and life goes on. But what most men over 60 don't realize is that intimacy, while beneficial, is also a form of physical exertion. Just like exercise, it stresses your cardiovascular system, depletes energy reserves, and strains various muscle groups, especially in the lower back, core, hips, and thighs. When you were younger, your body bounced back quickly. Your muscles regenerated overnight, your energy returned by morning, and you barely thought about it. But after 60, the body's repair mechanisms slow down. Blood flow becomes less efficient, muscle protein synthesis declines, and hormone levels drop. Meaning if you don't actively support your body after intimacy, you're inviting slow and silent muscle deterioration. Skipping recovery can trigger inflammation, micro tears in muscle fibers, and even delayed fatigue, especially if you're already not sleeping deeply or eating optimally. These subtle breakdowns accumulate. Over time, the muscles responsible for posture, balance, and mobility start to weaken. You might notice you're more sore the next day, slower to move, or even more prone to falls. These aren't random signs of aging, they're red flags that your body is not recovering well. To prevent this, treat post-intimacy care like you would post-exercise recovery. Rehydrate within 30 minutes. Plain water or an electrolyte drink can help replace fluids lost through sweat. Follow with a protein-rich snack to aid in muscle repair. This could be a boiled egg, a small bowl of Greek yogurt, or a handful of nuts. Gentle stretching, especially for the hips, hamstrings, and lower back, promotes blood circulation and prevents stiffness. And most importantly, avoid going straight into chores or errands. Give your body the signal that it's time to heal, not hustle. Intimacy should empower your health, not deplete it. With a few intentional steps, you can transform every encounter into a tool for vitality, not vulnerability. But here's the real danger. Recovery isn't the only hidden mistake. What if the way you're exerting yourself during sex is silently tearing your muscles down even more? Let's move on to the second silent saboteur of senior strength, and why pushing too hard could be the most damaging choice of all. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. Mistake 2. Overexerting during sex without strength support. As men age, many still feel the pressure, often silently, to perform in the bedroom with the same intensity they once did decades ago. There's pride in showing strength, stamina, and control, but what most don't realize is that this determination to prove something can lead to serious consequences. Overexerting during sex, especially when your body isn't supported by a foundation of regular strength training, can cause more harm than good. And the damage isn't always immediate. It builds slowly, silently, and often without symptoms until it's too late. Sex is physical. It involves muscles, joints, and cardiovascular effort. When your muscles are not conditioned or maintained through regular resistance training, they become weaker, less coordinated, and more susceptible to strain. For men over 60, attempting to engage in physically intense sexual activity without adequate muscular support is like trying to run a marathon without ever training. The body buckles under the demand. This type of unbalanced exertion leads to micro-tears and underused muscles, stiffness in the joints, and inflammation that doesn't heal properly. The body may respond with fatigue, soreness, or even back pain, signs that you're using muscles that aren't prepared. But worse, this repeated stress without conditioning can accelerate muscle loss, particularly in the lower back, glutes, thighs, and abdomen. These are the same muscle groups that help you stand, walk, and maintain independence. Losing strength in these areas increases your risk of falls, injuries, and long-term frailty. The key isn't to avoid intimacy, it's to build a base of strength so your body can handle it. Incorporating light strength exercises 2 to 3 times a week using body weight, light dumbbells, or resistance bands, can make a world of difference. It improves circulation, builds endurance, and protects the joints. Strong muscles not only support your movements during intimacy, but also reduce strain on your heart and lungs, allowing for a more enjoyable and sustainable experience. Neglecting this simple foundation is like driving a car on bald tires. Eventually, something gives out. And for older men, what gives out is often their strength, balance, or confidence. But what happens when the problem isn't physical overexertion, but complete avoidance? The third mistake might surprise you because it's not about doing too much. It's about doing nothing at all, and the long-term consequences are more damaging than you think. Mistake 3. Avoiding sex altogether out of fear or shame. As men grow older, it's not uncommon for intimacy to become less frequent. Some withdraw because of health issues. Others feel embarrassed about changes in performance. There's a quiet fear of not measuring up, of feeling inadequate, or of being judged. So rather than face the discomfort, many older men simply avoid sex altogether. But what seems like a protective decision can actually be one of the most damaging mistakes, not just emotionally, but physically. When sexual activity stops completely, your body doesn't just pause, it begins to weaken. Sex isn't just about connection or pleasure, it's a full-body activity that engages multiple muscle groups, stimulates blood flow, activates the nervous system, and triggers the release of vital hormones like testosterone and growth hormone. These hormones are essential for maintaining muscle mass, strength, and vitality. Without the regular stimulation that sex provides, your body may start to downshift, reducing muscle-building signals, weakening the pelvic floor, and slowing circulation to critical areas. Even worse, prolonged inactivity in this area can contribute to muscular atrophy, especially in the core, hips, and lower back. These are not minor muscles, they're the ones that allow you to stand tall, move confidently, and prevent falls. Once these muscles begin to deteriorate, the decline often spreads. A man who avoids intimacy for months or years may begin to notice he's less balanced, less energetic, or unable to recover from basic movements as quickly. This isn't coincidence. It's a direct result of disengaging from one of the body's most natural and beneficial physical expressions. The emotional consequences are equally heavy. Avoidance often leads to isolation, loss of confidence, and internalized shame. This can cause chronic stress, which further lowers testosterone and contributes to inflammation, another enemy of muscle strength. For many, this creates a spiral. The less they engage, the worse they feel, and the weaker they become. But it doesn't have to be this way. Intimacy can take many forms. Whether with a partner or through healthy self-pleasure, staying sexually active in some way supports circulation, hormone production, mental clarity, and muscular health. It's not about performance, it's about participation. Choosing connection, even at a modified pace, keeps your body and mind engaged. But there's another silent saboteur lurking beneath the surface, one that can quietly erode your strength from the inside out. It has nothing to do with movement and everything to do with what's missing in your bloodstream. Let's talk about a hidden factor that most older men overlook and how it might be weakening your muscles more than anything else. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Mistake 4. Ignoring hormonal health and testosterone decline. As men age, one of the most critical changes that takes place is hormonal, and yet it's the change most often ignored. Testosterone, the primary male hormone, is responsible for far more than just sexual drive. It plays a vital role in maintaining muscle mass, bone density, mood stability, energy levels, and even cognitive sharpness. But after age 60, testosterone levels begin to decline more rapidly, and many men don't notice until the effects have already taken hold. What makes this mistake so dangerous is that the signs of low testosterone often mimic what people assume is normal aging. Feeling weaker, gaining fat around the belly, losing interest in sex, struggling with energy. These are all symptoms of declining testosterone, not simply getting older. Unfortunately, many men never get tested. They brush off the symptoms, believing that nothing can be done, or they feel ashamed to talk about it. That silence allows the problem to worsen. When testosterone drops below healthy levels, muscle tissue begins to break down faster than it can be repaired. Even with regular movement or occasional strength training, progress becomes difficult. Your body simply doesn't have the hormonal support to build or maintain lean muscle. This leads to decreased strength, slower metabolism, and higher body fat, a combination that can accelerate aging and increase the risk of falls, heart issues, and chronic disease. And it doesn't stop at muscle loss. Low testosterone also contributes to emotional challenges such as low motivation, anxiety, or even depression. These mental states make it harder to stay physically active, compounding the problem even further. In men over 60, unaddressed hormonal imbalances can silently set off a chain reaction, one that leads to muscle wasting, frailty, and eventually loss of independence. But there are solutions. Getting your hormone levels checked by a qualified doctor is the first step. From there, natural approaches like improving sleep, reducing stress, strength training, and eating testosterone-supportive foods like eggs, fatty fish, and zinc-rich nuts can all help. In some cases, medically supervised hormone therapy may also be beneficial. The key is to stop guessing and start acting. Because while hormones may be invisible, their impact is anything but. And there's one more mistake that ties all of this together. Something so simple, yet so commonly misunderstood. It's the way we view sex itself, and how that perspective may be robbing your body of the strength you still have left. Mistake 5. Not treating sexual activity as exercise. One of the most misunderstood aspects of sex in later life is its physical intensity. Most older men think of sex in emotional or relational terms, as a source of pleasure, intimacy, or connection. But what they often overlook is that sex is also a form of exercise. It demands physical effort, engages over 30 muscle groups, and places stress on the cardiovascular, muscular, and nervous systems. When you fail to treat it as such, you put yourself at risk of strain, imbalance, and even muscle loss. Think about it. During sexual activity, you're lifting, moving, balancing, and contracting muscles in your legs, core, back, and arms. These same muscles support your posture, your gait, and your overall mobility. If they're weak or unconditioned, you may unknowingly push your body past its limit during intimacy. That can lead to soreness, stiffness, or worse, minor injuries that slowly reduce your confidence in physical movement. Over time, this leads to avoidance, and with it, muscle decline. Many older men experience fatigue or physical discomfort after sex, but don't connect it to their fitness level. They think they're just getting older when in reality they're treating a demanding physical act like it requires no preparation or recovery. The truth is, your body still needs warm-ups, flexibility, strength, and rest, just as it would before and after a workout. Ignoring this reality means your muscles are being used inefficiently and breaking down faster than they can rebuild. If you're not stretching your hamstrings, keeping your core stable, or doing basic mobility work, you may be setting yourself up for accelerated muscle deterioration, especially in the areas you rely on most for sexual movement. This is why incorporating light stretching, pelvic floor exercises like Kegels, and flexibility training can make such a difference. When you treat sex like a form of movement, your body becomes better prepared, and the benefits extend far beyond the bedroom. The biggest danger is not the act itself, but the mindset. If you view sex as effortless or separate from physical health, you'll miss the opportunity to use it as a tool to stay strong, energized, and capable. But perhaps what's even more important is understanding what all 5 of these mistakes reveal. Not just about your physical health, but about your mindset, your self-awareness, and the future you're building with every choice. And what comes next may completely change how you view aging and intimacy moving forward. Conclusion: a wake-up call for strength, vitality, and longevity. Getting older doesn't mean giving up the parts of yourself that once made you feel strong, confident, and alive. In fact, it's the opposite. It means you now have the wisdom to make better choices, to listen more closely to your body, and to take actions that truly matter. The 5 sexual mistakes we've explored aren't about judgment or guilt. They're about awareness, about recognizing how small habits, if left unchecked, can silently chip away at the very strength that keeps you independent and thriving. Skipping recovery after intimacy may seem harmless, but it gradually robs your muscles of the rest and fuel they need to rebuild. Overexerting during sex without supporting your body through strength training puts fragile muscles under strain, leading to weakness and injury. Avoiding sex out of fear, embarrassment, or emotional withdrawal shuts down vital hormonal and physical systems that your body depends on to stay strong. Ignoring testosterone decline lets an invisible process slowly erode not just your muscle, but your motivation and resilience. And perhaps most dangerously, failing to see sex as a legitimate physical activity causes many men to overlook the preparation and care needed to do it safely and sustainably. These aren't just isolated issues. They are deeply connected. Each one contributes to the same quiet enemy: muscle loss. And when your muscles begin to fade, so does your independence, your stability, your energy, and even your ability to enjoy the most meaningful parts of life. The good news is, it's never too late to make different choices. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. Start small. Take recovery seriously. Move your body regularly. Eat with purpose. Ask your doctor about your hormone levels. Stretch. Strengthen. Communicate openly. And most of all, reclaim your right to feel strong, capable, and connected, physically and emotionally. Intimacy after 60 is not a weakness, it's not a fading chapter, it's an opportunity. A chance to turn awareness into action, hesitation into confidence, and aging into a new kind of power. You still have time, you still have strength, and every choice you make from here can help you build a future where you're not just surviving, you're living with vitality, clarity, and purpose. So don't wait for another warning sign. Start today. Your body is ready to support you, as long as you choose to support it first. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.